And then the next is we're translating this design, this information into into a low fidelity wireframe. So you already know the process. You select this first, and then you create your layout grid. So I've created my layout grid for this, and I duplicated this screen. That's how I got this screen. So and that means I can still access the same layout grid. As you can see, I can still access them. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to break all these things into different rows. So I'll start first with this one. So
Okay.
I'll start first by counting my first 50 30 for my status bar. That's my network and my battery. So those of them, both of them will take this space. That means they will take this space, yeah.
Okay.
So that means my next section will start from here like this, and it goes all the way like that. I hope you're following along.
Yes, I am.
All right. So now this would be where I will have my this back icon, and then the profile picture. I hope you're getting what I'm saying.
Yes.
So I'll come back to my frame. I will click on it, and then I'll turn on my columns layout grid. Yes. So and then I'll click on this frame. I'll give it a color so I can see it. So I'll just give it a random color like this, and then also
Then another thing, sorry, I'm sorry to break you. Another thing is that my everything I designed on my page.
keep going. So the first thing I want to do from here is when you look at these things that we're replicating here, we have the back icon.
Yes.
So that's the first thing I want to add. The back icon. You can use a rectangle, you can use a frame. Your choice. I don't want to make this dark color because it's making it difficult for me to see. So let me use the lighter color. Let me use the lighter color, and then let me make this one, which is the back icon. Let me make it a dark color. All right. So now I'm going to start labeling them. It's going to be back, and that the reason because I can to reference them later. So this is going to be the navigation plus profile. Now you can see you can short it nav plus pp. So that means that this just allows me to navigate and at the same time helps me go down to the profile picture. You understand what I'm talking about? So now I'm going to like ensure that this matches well with this column line. In case you can't see that, just drag your ruler and set it here. So whenever you move this, once you move to the it will stack. It will stack to the user. And then the next
How
thing
did you drag the ruler? I'm sorry.
no, it's not a big deal. So you just need to drag it like this from here, and then you drag it
Okay.
and match it up with the column where the column
Okay.
is starting, and you can do the same thing for the column where it's ending as well. All right. So now moving forward,
Okay.
right now, assuming what you draw is so stacked to the top here, and we need to position it to the center of this navigation frame. Do you understand? Of this frame,
Yes.
this frame.
Yeah.
What you need to do is to select the object, and then click on this alignment, align vertical.
Okay.
Then you go to that
Okay.
center. Can you see that?
Okay.
All right. The next thing I want to do from here is to create the circle for profile. And I'm going to I'll shift so that it draws the person I'll do is to align it again to the center and use my color. As when you press I, when you press I,
Okay.
keyboard
Okay. Okay. You copy. You click on the previous color.
exactly.
Then click on the.
I don't need to click on this. Once I click on the previous color, this has to be active. I need to click on this.
Okay.
This needs to be selected. This needs to be
Okay.
selected. Let me call this profile picture PP. So this needs to be selected. Then I'll press I on the keyboard, and then I'll click on
Okay.
this like this. I'll click on this one. Then apply that color on this. Do you get it?
Yes.
Then the next thing I'll do is I'll zoom out. I'll zoom out with
Oh,
minus.
sorry.
No problems with minus. Then the next thing I want
Okay.
to do from here is I'll check what's the next thing I need to do. these other ones, these other, they'll be on this side. They'll be on this side. So I can start from anywhere actually. So I'm just going to do a count of I'm going to do a count of maybe 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 160. So let me start from here. So I'm going to draw a round circle as well again. So control sorry, hold shift. So that's going to take that's going to be 20, 40 px 40 pixel width and tall, yeah. And I can change that configuration here 40. It also applies here because this is linked, so it's going to apply there as well. So and then the next thing I need to do, I'll zoom in and then I'll adjust it carefully. Mhm. Then I'll zoom out and then apply the same color as well. I'll zoom out again. I'll go all the way with Alt, holding Alt. This time around, I'll only keep a 10 px space between them. Yes, that's
How do
fine.
I determine the spaces I'll use?
You,
Just
the moment you start dragging, yeah, once you are dragging,
yeah,
just
I know how to get it. I know it will show me.
okay,
But how do I determine for me to have
okay,
my page all filled up,
I get
or
it.
like the one I did earlier? How do I determine how to do?
That's why I'm using a multiples of 20. So from here, from this top to this point is 20. From this point to this point is 40. And that 40, I left it for my status bar. Now, the whole of
Yeah.
this place, the whole of this shell is 40. If this is 20, this is another 20, that's 40. So I'm only moving by multiples of 20. Do you understand? Exactly. Now from here, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 120. So the moment I got to 120, that's where I started drawing my object. You understand? Now, whenever a developer is taking up this, these are the things the developer is going to consider because you've just given the person a good way, a good guide of measuring the screen properly. Do you understand? So it's just
Eh, how did you know? You're talking from the professional point of
okay,
view.
okay, okay. I get what you're saying.
Like, how do you know
I get,
that you're supposed to use that 120? Uh-huh.
I get. So when I come down to an application here, so you can always ask sorry, I said web. You can always ask developers what their own standard is, and they will tell you. But in my own case, right, what I'll do is I'll come down to this Apple site, and then I'll right click here, and then I'll click on inspect. So when I click inspect here, it shows me the developer side of this website where the code is written. Do you understand? Don't worry, don't let now. I'm going to toggle this thing here. I'm going to toggle device. So once I toggle the device, it turns it into a responsive design, a responsive screen. So I'm going to select mobile phone. So when I select mobile phone, I can select this size of mobile phone and I can select this size of mobile phone. So what I'll then do from here is when I click on this one and when I click on this inspector here, this inspector, I'll just move it over this. I'll move it over this. You can see we're having 320 by 48. 48 is the height. Are you getting it?
Yes.
48 is the height they use to create that top menu bar. Do you get?
Yes.
So now in my case, now that I know that it's 48 they use here, right? I can come to my Figma and I can change this 40 to maybe 48. So that means I'm working with the standard. I'm working, no, that means I'm coming, sorry. That means I'm working with what some professionals have used, and that's the standard. So I'm doing my research based on existing mobile phone, mobile screen design. This screen that I just switched to now is for mobile. I toggle like you can see tablets. Be looking at this part. Be looking at this top side. If I switch like this now, if I click on this point now, it will turn to tablet view. Can you see it has turned to tablet view? Are you there? Hello. You are distracted.
Yeah,
You are distracted.
I'm here. I am here. I'm not distracted. No, I am not.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not doing anything.
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, now moving forward, right? So I'm saying when you look at this top, you will see the screen size that we're currently working on. So if I click on this one here, that means mobile phone L. Mobile phone L means mobile phone landscape. Landscape. So I'll turn it to this. Sorry, mobile phone large rather, not landscape. Large. Mobile phone medium and mobile phone
Okay.
small. So now, if it's the large mobile phone screen size, so this is maybe for iPhone, iPhone 8 Plus. That wide phone. So now, if you toggle it from
Yeah.
large to medium, now it turns to small, another mobile phone size. Now, if you turn it to small, it turns to this mobile phone. Now, to get the measurement, I use this section because this is where
Uh,
they have their logo displayed, menu for navigation, and then another cart and the cart section. Oh, definitely, we are going to be having this thing as well in our own design, isn't it? Hello.
mm, yes.
We are also going to be having this top menu as well in our.
I can hear you. I'm here.
It's fine. It's fine. We're also going to be having this our top menu in our design, is it not?
Yes.
So now, once you click this inspector, if you select it, it will turn blue and it will be active. Just move it on top of this. Don't press anything. Just move it on top of it. It will give you the dimension used. That means they are using 48 height, 48 pixels height. You get
Okay.
it? So now, but in my own case, even if I use 40, it will still work. Do you get? Because the only difference between my own 40
Yes.
and your 48 is just 8 px. If I want to do 48, I can drag it down. I won't do the multiples of 20 anymore. So that means if I need to create something new,
Yeah.
I'll start doing calculation. But because I want to
Yeah.
be moving in the multiples of 20, I left it as 20,
Fancy.
40, 20, 40, 60, 80. You understand? But if I want to still get that 48, right? If I want to get that 48,
Okay.
if I want to get that 48 correctly, I'll just come to this layout grid. I'll turn this row to multiples of 6. To multiples of 6. So that means I'll count
Okay.
6 until when I get to 6 times 8. That'll give me 48, isn't it? So when I drag
Yes.
this down now, this will become 44 and 48. I'm coming 44. Sorry, I wasn't starting with multiples of 6 actually. But let's say I started from this top like this. I'll just be counting 6, 20, 6, 12, 18, 24. You can see that 24, 28,
Yes.
and 32. I get to 48. You can see that's 48. Are you seeing that?
Yes.
That means I'm moving in the multiples of 6.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Alright, so
Yes. Yes.
let me undo back to the way we were. Alright, so so now I'm moving in multiples
Okay.
of 20. So that's just the idea. So when I got here, I created a new one. Let me delete this one. So I'll start again. I'll create this is 40 already, and then I'll duplicate it. I'll leave the distance of 10. And then distance I'll keep this of 10. So when I have 10 space between them, I'll release my hand from my left click and then release my hand from my alt next and then release my hand from my shift next. Then I'll press Ctrl R to repeat it. Oh, Ctrl Z. Let me do that again. It shouldn't be Ctrl R, I think it's Ctrl D. Ctrl D, Ctrl D, and Ctrl D. Let me zoom out. How many things do we need? One, two, three, four, five. Okay, I think that's fair enough. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, that's okay. Then that's where that ends here. So now let me look at the distance between all of these. Let me select all of them. That's 240. You can see I'm still moving in multiples of 20. Hello? I'm still moving in multiples of 20. Are you there? So I'll label them. So the first one is going to be the wish list. The next one is the cart. The third one is the sizes. The next one is the description. Right, guys. So now I'm going to select all of this, and then I'm going to right click on them, and then I'm going to say frame selection. So that just automatically create a frame for them. So I'm going to drag the frame out to the extreme end.
Oh,
Don't worry, don't worry. So we'll move them back to where they were. So I'll call this one's explore or something that you can. No, I don't want to call it features. Say features.
okay.
You can see I'm labeling all my stuff so I can remember
Yes.
them. So and then I'll move this to the right hand side. Sorry, I'll move them to the right hand side. They're inside the frame. Control Z. Okay, all of them are not going to move. What we can do is let's just move the X value. We'll move the X value until we get to this point, and then we'll leave it there. So, what is it? So, yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, they are okay. Just need to adjust them a bit. So I'll reduce the x-axis a bit. Exactly, and that's fine. Now that means you can use the x in changing the position, x and y to change position, just like graph. Do you get?
Okay.
Alright, so moving forward, right, I can color this temporarily, and I'll change it. Just need to color it temporarily for me to know that there's a color there, or there's a section there rather. There's a section there. Nothing serious. I don't really need it for anything. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add my icons for moving the pictures. So I'll start again. I'll start my counting. I'll start my counting again. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220, 240. So I'm going to start here. Or no, let's say 260. I'm going to start here. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to create my frame again. Frame. Mark you, I'm not creating rectangle here. Because if I create rectangle, all these things won't be able to wrap inside a rectangle.
Okay.
Exactly. Now let me adjust this properly. The next thing I want to do is I want to copy all of this.
How did you, because I could see that you did go to the frame,
F on the keyboard. Nice observation. F on the keyboard.
alright.
Here. And then I'll paste all of this here. Control V. Then look at there's something I want to show you. Just observe this skill. Um, all of these are like this on top of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a auto layout.
Okay.
Once I'm done with auto layout, I'll just click on this, push, remove them side by side. Auto layout move them side by side. Do you see that? Control Z. Look at the way I was playing before. I never had auto layout on them. They were just together. I just colored it. So what I did was I just clicked on this auto layout. I turned them to auto layout, and then I clicked on this change direction, and it changed the direction of them. Then
Okay.
reduce their height and width. And how do I do that? I'll just come to this move tool. I'll turn it to scale tool. Scale tool. Once I turn it to
Where?
yeah, yeah, You see,
Okay. Okay.
turn it to
Okay.
22, and then I'll drag this down. Then it reduces them. Can you see? And then now,
Yes.
because they are auto layouts, I'll come back to my move tool. Also, put the space between them. See, exactly. Fair enough. Then the next thing I'll do is I'll drag them inside this frame. This frame is here. Let me color that so that you can see the frame. Let me color it. All white. So now the frame is colored. So they are not inside the frame at the moment. So I'm going to drag them inside.
Yes.
And let's say that this is on this side like this and like this. Then I'm going to align them properly. I'll scroll up. I'll align them to the center like this. And then I'll align them to the center like this. Can you see that?
Yes.
So now I can remove the auto layout. That's not a big deal. All I just needed the auto layout for was to change the direction instead of me having to do it manually. Do you get?
Okay.
But then auto layout can do more than that. I wanted to show one of the things that it does. Understand?
Okay.
Alright, moving forward from there. So let me change this color back to the right color that it's meant to be. Then let me remove. Let me now come. Let me give this some name. So I'm going to call it sliders slider. And then I'm going to change this one to dot dot. I'll copy it and then I'll paste, paste, paste. It's quite of this other one. Do you understand?
Yes.
Alright, so I'm going to change this as well to slider. Alright, and that makes sense. So now we'll have the feature part, we'll have the slider part, and then we'll have the navigation and profile. I hope you understand what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Alright, moving forward. So the last thing that we need to do here is the pricing and then the checkout. Do you get?
Yes.
I'm going to scroll up a bit and then I'm going to leave a multiples of 20 again, 20, 40. So I'm going to start this other frame here. I'm going to press F on the keyboard and then I'm going to start again, and that's going to take the entire 60 space that we have. So I'm going to just
So normally, how many how many spaces? I mean, how much space should be at the bottom?
so okay, no, at this bottom here you can just leave maybe
Yeah.
20 or maybe 10, 20, 10,
Okay.
either which. But then, yeah, how do I say it? All the space I'm adding in between them, the image is going to cover those space. So I just wanted to add that space so that there's going to be a room for this to breathe, so that everything is not just clustered together.
Of course, yeah.
All right, moving forward. So let me just add the last part, which is the price and then check button. So now for the price here, I'm going to just add a rectangle to represent that, but it's going to be small. So that might probably be 20 px. So that will be 20 px, and it won't be wider than this. Oh, sugar. So that won't be wider than that, and that would just be this. And then I can press align center to balance it. Now for the checkout here, that will be quite bigger than this one. So I'm going to like increase it, and that's going to even take more space than that one. So I'm going to increase it up. So if this is 20, then this can be 40. Then I'm going to align it. Then I'm going to position it to the right. Then I'm going to now title it as checkout and then as price. Then I'm going to change the color of this one to my preferred color. I prefer black actually. So now the next thing is now we're done with our project here. Control C. I have to move this backwards to the place it was. All right. So now we're done with everything. So now the next thing we need is to take out these colors and take out all these columns that we're seeing, and then preview our project in the best way that we should be previewing it. You understand? So now I'm going to click off these eyes, and I'm going to click off this one as well. I'm going to select this top section here. I'm going to take off the color, and then I'm going to select this other one. I'm going to take off the color as well. Then this other one, I'm going to do the same thing for this other two. So I'm going to take off their colors. Yeah, I'm going to take off this one as well. Now this last one, I'm going to type it price PR plus checkout. Now, yeah, here it is. We have our project. Now everything is looking good and everything is ready to go to the
So
interface side.
so
The
there's no need for any frame for the image.
only thing you can do for image here is this. I can just decide to have a background. I can have a background, but then that's not the best way we represent image. Then rectangle. Let me use a frame. Let me use this iPhone 14 Plus frame. No, let me just create the frame in it. Because and the reason for that is because if I use rectangle, I won't be able to power clip the line that I want to draw on top of it. I won't be able to power clip it inside. So now what you do next is now we'll have a frame. But the frame is engulfing all the things I've added so far. So I will drag all those things out of that frame and I'll call this one image. So they are supposed to say side by side, not wrapping inside the image like this.
Okay.
You understand? They are not supposed to be inside the image. They're supposed to be side by side. So what I will now do afterwards is I can close this item temporarily. I'll close them temporarily and then I'll bring out this pen tool and then I'll draw from this bottom side to the top and then I'll click on done and then I'll copy this here and then I'll paste it again and then I'll mirror it to the right hand side and to mirror it right you right click on it and then you flip it horizontal. Yes, and then you select
Okay.
both of them. Now both of them are inside the image. That is perfect. I can increase the stroke. I can increase the stroke maybe 2.5 points, and that's thicker. And I can even make it. I can make it like I can make it come out maybe in a dotted form. Sorry, let me scroll down a bit. I can select this one and then change it from solid to dash. So it becomes dash. Do you understand? It becomes dash. Alright, I can increase the gap between the dash, maybe like 20 points. So now we have more spacing between the dashes. Do you understand? Now after all said and done, I can collapse this one and then I can
Yeah.
review all other things I've added so far. So now this one interprets the image. Now every other things remain the same thing that they are. Now my layers are well labeled.
Can you please come again?
Okay, I'm saying that the
From
stroke,
that image, from that image, yeah, from when you
yeah, what I just did was I turned on the eyes that were closed. You know, the eyes were closed before. I just turned them back on so that I review those
no
things.
no 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 no. Before before you did the dash, like when you turned all the eyes off at first,